Good morning and welcome to All Souls. It's a joy to be with you here in the sanctuary and from wherever you're joining us via live stream. We are a welcoming and inclusive community of members and friends. My name is Gretchen Gabrielson, pronouns she, her, and I'm the spiritual care and membership manager here at All Souls. Joining me in the chancel today is Reverend Dr. Elaine Peresluha, All Souls Interim Senior Minister. And joining us for worship today are a few of the All Souls Deacons. Robin Bossert, who serves as the president of the Deacons, and Deacons Jeff Freelander, Marjorie Friedlander, Tim Kelly, Neil Osborne, Jim Moskin, Tom Blum, Beryl Jones-Wooden, Paula Steltzner, and Linda Rousseau. I wanted to make a quick note that there is a brief change to the order of service this morning. There is a reflection part 2 that will take place after the anthem and before the offertory. Thank you so much for your patience with this change. Announcement that there is no religious education today, and we welcome families with children and youth who are joining us in the sanctuary. We do have nursery and preschool care for those children ages 6 months to 5 years old in the Forest Church Gallery. If you are new or perhaps come in frequently and are feeling brave and open to it, please raise your hand. Thank you, awesome. Members and friends of All Souls, take a look around, so one more time. Thank you. And welcome our newcomers, invite them to coffee hour. Thank you all. We would love to know all about our newcomers here today. There is a card in the pew rack in front of you. Please fill out this card and place in the box in the vestibule, or feel free to give it to me after the service, so that we can reach out to you and get to know how we can support your journey here at All Souls. Our very own Laura Peterson is leading a sanctuary tour today directly after the service. If you look around and see some historical artifacts up on our walls, Laura's our go-to person for all that history. So if you're interested in learning more about the sanctuary and history of All Souls, join Laura up here at the chancel right after the service. Thank you, Laura. We're in the closing weeks of our annual giving campaign. These gifts support everything that makes All Souls irreplaceable in your life and the life of our community and our world. A reminder that a small group of generous members will match every gift you give this month, dollar to dollar, up to $100,000 total. This is truly incredible. We've also got an All Souls umbrella for you if you're making a recurring gift or if you increase your donation. Check your order of service for details or the QR code there. Thank you all for your care and commitment to our community through annual giving. Our legacy lives on because of all of you. As always, please join us for coffee hour after the service today. Coffee hour is in Reedy Friendship Hall. Please let me know if you need help accessing an elevator. I'd be glad to help you with that, as Reedy is 2 floors below us. Next week is Pride Sunday. Please come celebrate our LGBTQ+ community as we live into our values of a loving and affirming place for queer siblings. It's during the 11:15 a.m. service, and I hope you join us. We'd love to stay connected with you during the week. We have events happening online almost every day. If you're not on our mailing list, please let us know at info@allsoulsnyc.org so we can keep you informed about everything that's happening here. Now, take a breath with me and out. If you haven't already, please silence your electronic devices. I invite you to quiet your hearts and minds as we prepare to light our chalice.
May the flame of this chalice remind us to be the always hopeful gardeners of the Spirit, who know without darkness nothing comes to birth, as without light nothing flowers.
Good morning. My name is Robin Bossert, and I'm president of the Deacons, whose only stated responsibility in our bylaws is to assist the ministers with the communion service, a service that was performed after the main service 3 or 4 times a year in the past. It was very much like a Protestant Christian communion. Because member participation and ministerial interest waned, we have not had a communion service in close to a decade. The deacons have decided to address this issue by starting a conversation with the ministers and the congregation about what communion means and how we can make it more relevant. Why do I bring this up today? The Reverend Elaine chose the flower communion for today's service, which was created as an alternative to the Christian communion by the Unitarian minister in Prague during the rise of fascism prior to the Second World War. And as you will hear later, he paid with his life for replacing the Christian communion. Rituals we share together in this sanctuary remind us that we are a community. Be it lighting candles, sharing wine and wafer, or sharing flowers. These traditions are the purview of the ministers, and the deacons are here to assist in any meaningful communion that strengthens our community. Now, please rise as you are able and to recite our bond of union. In the freedom of the truth and in the spirit of love, we unite for the worship of God and the service of all.
And we'll join together in hymn number 64, "Oh, Give Us Pleasure in the Flowers Today." Gretchen is going to be my Vanna White this morning while we explain a bit about the flowers. The rose bouquet, please. Notice the beauty of all the roses together. The color, the shape, very orthodox. This, today, represents the faiths of orthodoxy. Those faiths that people believe in the same creed, they say the same doctrine, their worship services are very similar for their denominations, and they like the consistency, the predictability, and the beauty of sameness. Next, we have the single rose. There are many who seek spiritual growth by themselves. They are not necessarily wanting to be in a uniform or an ununiform community. They hike to the top of mountains. They snorkel. They sing. And they prefer the sanctity of aloneness to grow their spirits. Just as beautiful. Then we have pick whatever one you want, Gretchen. Then we have those who believe in diversity, who have a variety of beliefs, who come together around the beauty of a bouquet and community without needing sameness, likeness, or predictability. This is more of the liberal religious bouquet. Thank you. The reason we bring them all here today is to affirm that each faith has its purpose. They each serve a different kind of personality and spiritual process of growth. We like to say that there is something here for every heart, for every spirit, to find a way to move to be the best person you can be, whether you like conformity, variety, or being alone. So, that is what our communion is about today. And all of the bouquets recognize the beauty of creation, the interdependent web of which we are all a part, and that is at the core of what we celebrate today. What a gift. Thank you. Reverend Norbuck Capek was a gardener. He was a gardener of peace, of community, of faith. He was also a head of the Baptist Church in Bohemia following World War I. While he was in that role, he discovered that he began to embrace a theology much more progressive, and his religious convictions began to change. And he was just a bit too liberal for the Baptists. So he founded a Unitarian movement in Bohemia, which later became Czechoslovakia. People who joined him were those who wanted more diversity. They had outgrown spiritually that conformity and orthodoxy of the Baptist Church. And what they found was that they needed ceremonies, they needed hymns, because the orthodoxy had produced all of the traditions and the rituals for the country. So Dr. Capek started writing his own hymns, and he created new ceremonies. And one of them is this flower communion. He introduced this flower communion at a service in a traditional Christian communion format, but he used the flowers, and it was June 4th, 1923. The members of Dr. Capek's congregation brought flowers from their garden. They picked them up in the pastures on the sides of the road, just, random weeds, and they brought them in to use instead of the bread and wine. So they ceremoniously put away the containers for the bread and the wine and celebrated this new way that they were going to represent their community. Dr. Capek turned to the beauty of the countryside to bring a genuine communal element that welcomed everyone, rich and poor, Christian and not, for diversity. When the members of his community arrived at the church, they placed all their flowers in a vase, and then their communion included the children, and the two youngest members of the youth group brought the flowers forward, as our deacons did this morning. Then, after each person had placed their flower in the vase, there was a ritual, a blessing of the flowers, and then the flowers were redistributed to symbolize that we both give and receive in community. And Dr. Capek then said a prayer, and after which he walked through and consecrated all the flowers, and they celebrated their communion. When people left the church, they were encouraged to take a flower home to remind them of the community, to remind them of their growing faith, their conviction to a liberal opportunity that was an alternative to orthodoxy. So, like we discussed, the flowers all represent different traditions of faith. And what we're going to do today is we are going to do this a similar but revitalized or reformatted type of communion. So we will go through a blessing of the flowers, and then after the blessings of the flowers and the singing of one of Dr. Capek's hymns, they will distribute to you in the pews, and you'll get to pick out whichever flower you want. Now, this flower communion was brought to the United States by Dr. Capek's wife in 1940, because Dr. Capek was incarcerated in Dachau in 1939, and he died there in 1942 for the radical idea of changing the communion and not having a Christian uniformity, and for preaching a liberal gospel. So his wife came quickly to the United States, and she was safe here. And it was in Cambridge, Massachusetts, at First Parish, that this service was first practiced by Unitarians. And since 1940, it has become a beloved tradition, both with our religious education programs, with adults, and it is celebrated in almost every Unitarian Universalist church at some point at the closing of the year. It's probably been adapted many times over, so it probably would be very different in each community that you visited. But the celebration of the earth, creation, our representation and appreciation for diversity, our support of individual spiritual growth are the components that are most important to our flower communions. It also reminds me of Reverend Dr. Capek and all the others who, in service of freedom of religion and their convictions for faith that is inclusive, have given their lives for what they believe. And I think we don't often remember that. And that's an essential part of this flower communion. So with each flower communion, you use, affirm, and celebrate the beauty of the earth, which is our home, the unique, impermanent beauty of each season of flowers. So you'll notice there are some flowers there that the stems were broken. They didn't quite fit into a vase. There were some that'll be a little bit wilted. But those are to remind us of the imperfections that we also welcome amongst us. And for us to remember that perfection is a very dangerous goal to try to achieve, and that there's many blessings in imperfections. So when you pick out your flower, you might get an imperfect one. You might get a perfect one. And there's a deep spiritual reminder in that, as well as the diversity of our flowers. We also make sure there's flowers for anyone who forgot to bring a flower. There are flowers for those members of our community who have passed on, because there's always a season of flowers that are not recognized but are with us in spirit. Crocuses, daffodils, snowdrops. We give thanks today with this communion for the human history of blooming, how through the ages we grow in our capacity for generosity. We give sacrifices that enrich our heritage. We remember the waymakers, the pathfinders, who have moved the world closer and closer to the compassionate vision we share of a democratic society and peace. So, with respect for justice, interdependence, and the beauty of humanity, we recognize with all our bouquets today. So, following the offertory, we will join in that responsive blessing of the flowers. Then during the hymn that follows, the deacons will distribute those to you. And we will remember with each flower that we now are those hopeful gardeners of the Spirit, with a vision of perfection and the appreciation of the imperfections that lead our way towards that. May we remember all the spirits who are with us in spirit, but not physically here today, as they bring us joy as well. So please remember all these essentials as we move through our flower communion this morning.
This community, this living, breathing congregation exists because of care, because of generosity, because of the willingness for each of us to say, this matters and I want to help it thrive. The offering we give today is one expression of that commitment. It supports the music that moves us, the learning that shapes us, the care that holds us, and the justice work that calls us outward into the world. So in giving this morning, may we do so with gratitude for what has been, for what is, and for what is still possible. We welcome your gifts in the offering plate or by QR code in your order of service, or on the screen if you're joining us by live stream. Our offering will now be given and gratefully received.
Please join me in the responsive blessing of the flowers. You will speak the text that's not in bold. I will speak the text. I'm sorry, I've got this totally confused. I will speak the lowercase lines that are not in bold. Your responsibility are the bold lines. In the name of the providence which implants in the heart of the seed the future of the flower, and what implants in our hearts the unrest which will not be quenched, till people live lovingly with each other, we bless these flowers. In the name of the highest.
Let us renew our resolution sincerely to be brothers and sisters, regardless of the barriers which estrange. May all these flowers be for us. Aspire during the whole. And together with me, in this holy resolve, may we be strengthened by the spirit of love, that we ourselves may bloom in the splendor of a joyful life, and endeavor to be ever more perfect in our days. Blessed be.
You may now be seated. I invite Tim Kelly up for the responsive reading.
It has taken long months beneath the cold ground for these flowers to prepare their blooming. Likewise, it has taken each of us long times of growth to prepare for our living now. The blooming season is short, the flowers stay only a brief time. Likewise, we are all travelers upon the earth. Please join me in our closing responsive reading. I will speak the lowercase lines. Your part is to speak the bold uppercase lines. Flowers speak to us of joy. Flowers give us hope when life begins anew in spring. Flowers stand for sharing. Flowers send a message of sympathy. Flowers tell of friendship. Flowers speak of love.
Before reading these closing words, the deacons would like to thank the Reverend Elaine for giving us this service and for so much more during the time we have shared together here at All Souls. So now the closing words. Flowers unfold slowly and gently, bit by bit, in the sunshine. A soul, too, must never be pushed or driven, but unfolds in its own perfect timing to reveal its true wonder and beauty. Our work is to be gardeners of souls wherever we are. Everywhere, seeds are beginning to germinate. Let us tend them with the greatest care. They are very tender and delicate. Let us water them with love. So may it be.
Thank the deacons for stepping into this unusual role in their reflections about how to best serve communions with All Souls. Please rise in body or spirit and we'll join in the closing hymn. It's number 131, Love Will Guide Us.
Guide us, peace has joined us, hope inside.
You may be seated. As we extinguish the light of our chalice, may we carry the fire of commitment and the love of community with us always. And now in our going, may love bless us and keep us, and may light of love shine upon us and out from within us, and be gracious unto us, and give us peace. For this is the day we have been given. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.